Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently very concerned about the Istran Slayers. We need a lot of alloys to really ramp up our defenses here. But we're just going to proceed forward here pretty soon, I think. Yeah, there's not too much that we can do here. We need to ramp up our economy. If we're truly going to go to war with these guys, we need to be able to compete with them, which we currently cannot do. And that's a problem. So we're going to have to do that. Experimental subspace navigation is not really necessary. I think we're going to go for the cold fusion reactor for right now. Destroyer hull points would be good. Actually, Corps of Engineers would be really good for us. That will save us a lot of alloys. So we'll go ahead and grab that. It'll be a little expensive, but I think it'll be fine. We need so many alloys. So many alloys.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, there's energy siphon. Sounds good. System capital complexes or just resources from jobs. I'm currently leaning towards... Again, both of them are reasonably expensive. I'm going to go for resources from jobs. That should be fine.
Construction complete.
Excellent. So, for the time being, we're going to minimize all of this and just keep an eye on our civilian constructions. We need to bank up alloys and work on our alloy production. That's the top tier priority at this moment. We really need to get our alloy production ramped up. Now, we can buy in alloys, and we're heading over to Unamar right now. We'll build a hyper relay over here. And the Istran Slayers are still working their way through the Groknaplorin for right now. So we have a little bit of time. On Tribano, this is a tech world, we definitely want to put in... We could upgrade our research lab here, in theory. How are we doing on our exotic gases? Not great. So we're going to put in a research lab. They status quo'd. Huh. I wonder why they didn't full annex. And then these guys immediately became a bulwark under somebody else. I mean, that makes sense. I get that. So I wonder if they're going to now turn their eyes towards us. Presumably. We need to assume that they are. Now, we know that they are running extremely heavy ballistic weapons. So we can counter them if they're still doing that, which presumably they are. So we can see here, they're really bad against armor. We can refit our ships fairly quickly to deal with that. I'm going to build another pair of shipyards here. I'm also going to build... Let's see, we've got a crew quarters here right now. For the moment, I'm going to put a hydroponics bay in here. There we go. Cool. So that'll be fine, and we are continuing to build our hyper relay network. We're on normal speed. Let's go ahead and bump that up to fast. I just now realized that. But for the moment, that was actually reasonably fine. I'm not shocked about that. I'm not sad about it either. So for the moment, this is seeming to be okay. We do need to deal with our consumer goods. No doubt about that. And I would like to go into our edicts at this point. We almost certainly can change things around here. Improved energy initiative. Consumer goods upkeep and research speed in industry and materials. It feels okay. And we don't seem to have access right now to increasing our alloy production. So that is definitely noted. To be clear, though, these subsidies here are what's actually good. So maybe we should go for, like, research subsidies. I don't think it's great. I think we leave this be. We just don't have the edicts that I was hoping to see there. That's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We really do need, however, to get some additional alloy production. We've traced the wiring to a temple complex devoted to the worship of the Oracle and her clergy in the station's central node. But in the Oracle's chambers, instead of a divine entity, resides an enormous AI nexus of the Oracle brand. Wires extend from its core like a nervous system through the entire station. I thought about making a Larry Ellison joke here, but I passed on it. Secret communications between the inhabitants revealed there was a failed attempt at storming the temple and deactivating the Nexus. It seems likely the society collapsed when it became known that their lives were not governed by divine will, but by a prophetic computer. Restarting the Nexus will require extensive repairs. Well, we'll look into that. Cool. Okay, we're going to tick on forward here. I do want to look at some of this, though. So we've got a factory world on Kolbath. And we do still need that. What is this? This is an Uthabulin. Unemployed, but there are jobs here. So we probably need to... Yes, some of these are on residence. Let's go ahead and move these up to full citizenship. So that'll be fine. And as far as the rest of this goes, it should all be fine. So Uthabulin, okay, cool. So are they incapable of doing things here? Maybe they're incapable of working in our industry. I suppose that's a possibility. They have an alpine preference, they're servile, and they're traditional. Cannot be employed in ruler or specialist jobs. Sure. But that doesn't really do anything. Okay, interesting. Well, I definitely think that we put in an alloy megaforge here. We're going to be having some volatile motes shortages eventually if we go too ham on that, but it should be fine for now. Cool. So we're going to be getting our BOS Felicity down to Grumium eventually. That will take a while. And our construction ships are constructing away. But all of this will take time.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Cold fusion reactors have finished up. We could definitely go for a colony development speed. That's nice and cheap. That's largely a reroll. But we should have that before we arrive here so the colony will develop faster. That's not a problem. And I'm not expecting this job to actually get fixed, for the record.
Complete.
We've got a researcher and an enforcer job available. Maybe it will actually get fixed. Noted. Okay, so we're heading over to Quiet Dark, right? And we're going to build a hyper relay there.
Established a new planetary base.
We are full on our minerals, and we will sell those off. We're going to also buy in additional alloys. As many as we can, which is not a lot, but we'll get those going, and we will upgrade here. Cool. That is the furthest and the most difficult for us to defend at this moment. So that'll do just fine. But we definitely need to increase our alloy production. It has come up a little bit, so that's good. So we're working on prosperity here. Building and district upkeep reduction would be nice. Society needs a new researcher, and we will recruit in... I guess this one. Sure. You'll do. So this tech world requires a job. Once again, research labs. There we go. And the BOS Atlantic needs to head to Ziamon and build a hyper relay there. Now, can we sustain building 2 hyper relays at a time? I don't know. That's a lot of alloys, but even more than that, that's a lot of rare crystals. We've got a lot of rare crystals stored up, though, so we'll be okay on the rare crystal front for the time being. This mining world requires a job. I think that we need to build here both a civilian industry and an alloy foundry. We'll get those underway, and that will solve that problem for now. This tech world requires a job as well. We're going to build a city district to expand out our building slot.
Scientific
Cool.
breakthrough achieved.
The Sokia have embraced cybernetics. That's fine. And from here, advanced research complexes would be fine. There we go. We'll get those underway. We do need to get our economy scaled up. Badly. Very badly. We're in a decent position to scale it. We're just not quite there yet. We put a lot of resources into building a framework. But we need more. So at this point, we can definitely build another industrial district here on Kolbath. That'll be fine. That will help us with our consumer goods production. And this will all be consumer goods here because it's set as a factory world. We could actually set this as an industrial world, but that would not help us at this time. Eventually, but not now.
We have encountered
This mining world, we're going to put an alloy foundry on.
spaceborne beast.
And some Groknaploran have arrived on Kolbath. Fantastic. We will take in all the refugees we can. We need pops. That is very clear. We're going to head over to Jurup and build a hyper relay there. And we're going to be done in Ziamon fairly soon as well. So that's good. Our hyper relay network is underway, but we have quite a long ways to go on it. Building this hyper relay network is important. Before we can go to war with the Istran Slayers with any reasonable chance of success, we need to have this built. So that'll be fine. We're going to sell off a few minerals as well here. Cool. The Atlantic is not doing anything. We're going to head over to Volonis and build another hyper relay there. But now that our hyper relay, or rather now that our colony ship is on the hyper relays, we're going nice and quick. I like it. So that'll do for now. Our consumer goods are going to become positive fairly soon here. And that's excellent. The Karelians, that's these guys out over here, have insulted us. Very rude. But we did finish a terraforming on Gilprim. So we'll go ahead and colonize this with a Bizarro Ottoman ship. There we go. And we'll get that heading over as quickly as we can. That is our last location that we can terraform without atmospheric restoration. Or climate restoration? I forget what it's called. The technology that allows us to terraform tomb worlds. It'll be a bit before we have that. That's very clear to me.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
Excellent. So I'm not concerned about our energy credit economy right now. We need to get up our agricultural and industrial base. That's what we need more than anything.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay. Corps of Engineers has finished up. And engineering research from researchers is not bad at this point. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Scaling up our science just that little bit more. Our science is reasonably even at this point, so that's looking good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Istran decided to declare on us at some point in the near-ish future. And that's a big part of the reason why we are working on pivoting. I definitely want to get this Star Fortress upgraded. And actually, I'm going to cancel this one. And then restart it. That'll save us a few alloys. So we'll get that going. I'm not concerned about time as much as I am about alloys right now. Resources from jobs are looking good. We could get clone armies, but I'm going to get society research from researchers here, I think. We've been passing on that one for a very long time. And we're going to go ahead and grab that now. Cool. So we definitely require additional research. That's very clear. Checking in on these guys, overwhelming, equivalent, overwhelming. Yeah, they're very large. No doubt about that. We need to head to Hualinga, and we'll go ahead and do so. The BOS Danube is going to head to Menok, and we are lacking in alloys. So we're going to buy in a few alloys here. Just enough to keep us afloat and constantly constructing. Advanced research has finished up. That's good. Colony development speed again. I mean, sure. It's not hugely necessary. Over here, we definitely want to put in our gene clinics and our city district just to start off the colony. And then this factory world here. The Zuthabulin really doesn't want to do any jobs. Maybe we'd be able to have them deal with our amenities here? Holotheaters or perhaps new mystic shrines? We could try a new mystic shrine, see if that fixes that problem. Eventually, we're going to want to get rid of this research lab, but for now, it suits our purpose. Cool. So we have a tradition available. Building and district upkeep reduction wouldn't be bad. Yeah, rushing towards that specialist pop resource output would be really, really good. So let's grab administrative operations for the time being. Excellent. Just checking through our worlds here. Nothing too much to be done there at this moment. And we are eventually going to need to upgrade Arcturus. And that's not that expensive. So we're going to buy in enough alloys to make that happen. There we go. We'll get that underway, because we're going to need improved defenses. That's very obvious to me. So we're going to get that done, and we'll eventually get this filled up. Eventually. Cool. Relic activation is possible. We'll activate the Surveyor and see what we can find. Cool. We found some volatile motes out over here. So once we're done with this hyper relay, we're going to go grab those before heading back over this way. Cool. We finished an archaeological site here. Our engineers have restored the Oracle's nexus to an operative state, but not without first disabling its defense system. Evidence suggests it may have been responsible not only for keeping the station's inhabitants alive, but also for killing them. It ran complex computational models that forecast their lives with an estimated accuracy of 75%, correcting divergences and incapacitating future troublemakers before they could disrupt divine order. It's indicated that it wishes to speak with us. Sure. Or we could disable it. Ooh. That is... We would overcap our influence by doing this. But that's a lot of alloys. Let's go ahead and initiate communications, though. I don't like taking these short-sighted ones, especially since we're going to overcap our influence. Okay. Let's see what it wants to say. The Oracle manifests as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall arthropoid female, clad in long, flowing robes. She bows her head in greeting, then stares emptily ahead with hundreds of huge, orbed, unseeing eyes. They glow dimly in the gloom as she speaks. Welcome to Divinity Station, friends. I cannot help but notice that you have disabled my security system. May I implore you to restore it immediately? I can assure you that it is there only for your protection. What happened to the inhabitants of this station? I have a failsafe that requires me to terminate a trial in the event of a code 034N deviation. The research had become a threat to the Republic. What is a code 034N deviation? The test subjects had developed free will. Free will can only be abolished with nerve gas. Okay. What trial? My trial. I was designed to build and maintain a society free of crime and suffering. A utopia in which every citizen was instilled with divine purpose and lived up to their full potential, unfettered by indecision and desire. What is the Republic? The Republic is no more. Well, that tells us a lot. What are you? I am Oracle, an artificial intelligence gifted with the sight. My software allows me to predict your future with a divine accuracy of 74.99999%. I sense great doubt in you. Great danger ahead. Your society is riddled with crime and deviation. I can make the pain go away. Okay, so we could get a governor, skill 5. 10% monthly unity for the rest of the game. That's actually huge. Or we could dismantle it. We take the unity. We absolutely take the unity. Beautiful. So that's great. I really, really like that. That's a huge boost to our unity. Phenomenal. We finished that archaeological dig site, of course, and we are immediately heading down to Vokon. Sounds good to me. And we really do need to scale up our alloy production. We have worked on it to some degree. And we're full on minerals. We'll sell off some minerals. Cool. And we're almost done building in Menok here. Okay. So we're going to need a hyper relay in all 3 of these. Unfortunately, there's not a way to optimize that.
Base.
That's very sad. We just established Grumium Prime, and we're definitely going to build in our Gene Clinic and City District there, as we normally do. The Danube is going to need to build in Sezutov for right now. And we'll just keep heading over to Breslin, which we will need to get Breslin upgrading eventually, but that one is actually in less of a high priority for us because the Scanurians, I think, are less likely to attack us than the Istrin are. Are they involved in a different war? Not currently. Okay. A new asset with the Groknaploran, huh? Cool. Not that we really need that, but it's fine. So our food is going to be fixed-ish fairly soon. Our fleets are not very strong. We know that. We're kind of putting them on the back burner for right now. There are bigger problems for the moment. Antimatter reactors, physics research from researchers, we go for the latter. The Corellian are now more xenophobic. This is a very xenophobic galaxy. Okay. And we're trying to make a cosmopolitan empire. I'm sure it'll go great. So this tech world here requires still an additional job, and we're going to put in yet another research lab. Fantastic. This factory world. We've still not found something that this Uthabulan can work in.
Construction complete.
Apparently they can go to Elthier Prime. So they could work as a technician? Well, it's fine. We've got a bunch of empty jobs here. And here we should definitely put in an agriculture district since we're maxed out on generators for now. We could also put in potentially a food processor if we have that tech. We do. Perfect. So we'll get that done. I would really like to see this guy actually migrate. Fingers crossed that he does. And we're now going to build our hyper relay here. Excellent. Our hyper relay network will be done reasonably soon here, actually. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm thinking here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on that route. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on this route. Okay. Noted. So it's not really that many more. That's good. We have a huge chunk of this sped up, but we're going to need more. So on Earth, let's go ahead and put in... the problem here is we don't have that many exotic gases, but we'll get that going. The Numistics want to show us something. They want to give us a governor. Get out of here. Well, they are taking a pop with them from Elthier Prime. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll get more migration, but for the time being, that is definitely sad. Okay, so we're done in Sezutov. We need to head to Egelrarvis. That'll be okay. And we're going to be done in Fuwu very soon as well. We'll just queue up a hyper relay up over here. There we go. As we expected, the interior of this solar sailor is appropriately archaic. The bridge resembles the deck of an old planet-bound sailing ship designed to sail on watery seas. The deck plating appears to be metal, but most surfaces are covered with carved wood, a contrast to the glass-like substance on viewports and data screens. Powering up the ship's computers, we found a data file with an old-fashioned seafarer's song. According to our archaeologist, this melody was once known as a sea shanty, or space shanty. We're attempting to transcribe the lyrics. Okay. Fantastic. So our tech world here needs yet another job. So a city district is what we're going to go with. This is another Uthabulan, though. Yeah. They migrated from Kolbath, but now we've got one on Trabano. So that's a little unfortunate.
The new world has begun.
We'll sell off our minerals here, and I'm going to buy in additional alloys here.
Scientific breakthrough.
And we'll get Breslin upgrading, and we're also going to need to make sure to get a torpedo battery here. And we could go for a target uplink computer here in theory. But we're probably not going... Well, we might have ships defending it. For the time being, I'm just going to build the torpedo battery, though. We're missing tech to finish off these stations, but that's to be expected. Cool. Engineering research finished, and let's go for basic strikecraft. That'll give us access to hangar bays. That's excellent. And with that, it is time... Oh, there's an insidious plot that the Corellians are doing. Okay, sure. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Emlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Unisoul, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.